Hey guys, it's me, Carrie, and in case you don't notice right away, we have a special guest star over my right shoulder. That is my Sydney Rory Bristow Murphy cleaning himself on the bed. I'm very excited that he's in here with us. We'll see how long he stays. But anyway, this is my long-awaited, for me anyway, my long-awaited Q&A video that I've been so excited to shoot for you guys. I finally got up to actually 11 questions, so thank you so much for everyone who asked stuff. I'm really excited. I love watching other people shoot these videos, so I hope that this will be fun and a little just, you know, neat way for you guys to get to know a little more about me. So let's just get right into it. Hopefully it won't be too long. Okay, first question. First and second questions were both asked by Midnight Wanderer. So hello, shout out to my friend. I love her. She's awesome. She has a channel here too, so be sure to check her out. Question number one, what's your favorite type of tea? I have a very specific favorite type of tea, and it's not the one that it used to be. There is a type of tea, a Celestial Seasonings one, called Sugar Cookie Sleigh Ride that comes out only at the holiday time. And for the longest time, that was my very favorite tea. I don't have a favorite type per se in terms of like brand or, you know, do I prefer green or black or loose leaf as opposed to bag tea. I don't really have a favorite type. I just have particular favorite teas. But Sugar Cookie Sleigh Ride has actually been bumped to second place. I know, shocking. My very favorite tea is by a brand called 3:15 p.m. I don't know what country it comes from. I believe it may be Japan. I'm going to go get a packet right now so you guys can see. It is called, I believe the correct title is Rose Fruity Milk Tea. Hold on a second. Let me go get a pack for you. Okay, guys, I'm back, and this is the packet. I'm going to be OCD making sure my letters hang on my necklace properly, so don't mind that. Okay, but this is it. It is 3:15 p.m. milk tea, and it is Rose Fruity Milk Tea. It is so delicious, you guys. I will brew this up in a little bit. It's got directions on the back, both in English and, okay, it's actually based out of Taiwan. But there is the back label for what it's worth. I don't know how much of it you'll even be able to see or read, but it's delicious, hot or cold. And it's a huge tea bag, like ginormous. I will brew this when I finish the coffee that I've been drinking for like the past 3 hours. I just got home from the animal rescue a little bit ago. But it's a huge sachet of tea. And you can see it's like got black tea and then like the milk, I guess, powder and the rose fruitiness. I don't know. It's just freaking amazing. And it actually says multi-serve tea bag. See, I never realized that. I do use them more than once, but I did not realize that you actually could or were supposed to. I use it with my Keurig. I tend to brew it on the largest brew size, which is actually on the Keurig that I have. There are 4 brew sizes. There are several different models. Mine goes up to a travel mug size. But if I do that, then it pretty much gets everything out of the bag. I will usually finish that, and then I'll add the little tiny teacup size, and sometimes I can get enough flavor out of it to get a little bit more. I probably should just do 2 times on the smaller size, or make sure I remove the bag after it steeps for a certain amount of time, but I just let that tea bag sit in there until the end of time. I do that with all my tea, and I know you probably shouldn't, but that is my absolute favorite tea. The only place I've seen it so far is at Asian markets. There are 2 that happen to be in my area. One just opened recently, thank goodness, although it's a little pricier for this than the one that's a little further away. My husband and I both adore this tea, so we're going to stock up at the farther away place and just get 2 of the bigger packets. And I love that Sydney's just snoozing back there. That makes me so happy. Okay, so that was question number 1. And question number 2, again from Midnight Wanderer, is what helps your anxiety the most? That's a tough one. Lately, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I don't know if it's a placebo effect or if it's legit working. My husband, about a month or 2 ago, purchased us some hemp oil online from Amazon, and I do not use weed. I am not a fan. I have no problem of other people, you know, with other people doing it. Different strokes for different folks, you know. It's legal some places, it's not legal other, it's medicinal, it's whatever, it's recreational. I have no judgments against people that smoke pot. It's not my personal preference. I've never tried it. I might love it if I tried it, but I haven't. And I have no desire to have THC in my system. That's just a me thing. I've never done drugs in my life. That's just a personal choice that I made and am sticking with. However, I know that you can take both hemp oil, and then there's also CBD oil that are both components of marijuana, but the THC in marijuana is not present in them. I have not yet tried CBD oil. I've heard that that's more potent and more effective for some people in treating anxiety disorder. It's also been proven by many, many medical tests to be helpful with physical ailments, fibromyalgia, cancer, lupus. So many people I've heard stories from that use it for things as well, other than mental illness, physical illnesses as well. Although I technically, in my mind, mental illness is physical illness because it's a disorder of your brain, and your brain is part of your body. So I don't see why it's not considered a physical illness, but that's beside the point. But I really feel like the hemp oil is helping. The problem is it's really expensive, even on Amazon. Like the bottles my husband had bought, he bought one that was like 20 bucks and one that was like 40 bucks. That was double the amount and double the potency. But we initially were both taking it together because he suffers from bipolar disorder. And he's like, it's too expensive. We go through it too fast. You take it, which I feel really guilty doing because I am actually on, pharmaceutical meds as well. I take an anti-anxiety med and an antidepressant. But he's like, no, it's working for you. Take it. You keep taking it. And I don't remember to every day. And again, I don't know how much of it is a placebo effect or if it's legit actually helping me. But I do feel like the days that I take it, I'm calmer and I'm more placid and I don't suffer the anxiety quite as strongly. But when I'm like in the midst of it, I find that watching something relaxing on TV, which more often than not for me, it's actually on in the other room right now. There's an awesome free channel called Pluto TV that is available on Amazon Fire Stick. I don't know what other services like Roku. I don't have those things, but I legit live on the MST3K, which is Mystery Science Theater 3000, or Riff Tracks channels on Pluto TV. I will watch them ad nauseum, the same episodes again and again and again and again. It helps me zone out. It makes me laugh. It distracts me from my life worries. So honestly, one of the biggest things that helps my anxiety is watching Riff Tracks or MST3K. Or believe it or not, horror movies or true crime, which I find incredibly soothing and relaxing to watch. I know I'm a nut job, but I do. And honestly, the true crime thing kind of makes sense in my warped mind because I feel like when you watch true crime, you see people go through the most horrific, nightmarish situations you could possibly imagine. Same holds true for horror, but it's hard to like feel sorry for yourself when you watch some of the things that these people have survived, or in many cases not survived. And the analytical part of my mind, part of me feels like in my next life, I'm going to be a profiler for the FBI. I find forensics research so fascinating. I've never studied it, but as a layperson, I find it fascinating. I love to watch true crime and I love to watch horror movies, and both of them actually help me with my anxiety. And also having tactile things nearby. I almost always have a floof. I call them floofs. I know that's not what they're called, but the ones that go on keychains, I have floof pens. Anything that's got like a puffy pom-pom like this. I have stuffed animals everywhere. I mean, literally, I'm sitting at my work desk. Well, supposedly for work, for when I write. Like, I have this huge little ID holder alpaca. I love having soft things to touch near me at all times. That's why pretty much every handbag I ever carry has a floof attached to it. That actually legitimately helps a lot with the anxiety too. So this is going to be long. I only have 43 minutes total before I run out of space on here. So it'll have to fit in there. But we're already at 9 minutes with 2 questions. But those are my answers to what helps my anxiety the most, at least lately. And of course, just, talking to people that I love. And by talking, I usually mean typing, because talking on the phone actually triggers anxiety for me. Talking face-to-face or typing text on a screen actually helps me a lot. So thank you, Midnight Wanderer, for those 2 awesome questions. All right, the next question we have was submitted by my friend Brandy Adkins. So hi, Brandy. Brandy said, if you had to pick one category to collect, I know you are like me and like to collect lots of different things, and money and space to store or display them was not an issue, what would it be? At this point in my life, I'm really, really, really enjoying collecting pins, enamel pins. And honestly, part of that is because it doesn't take up a lot of space. I know you said if space, you know, wasn't an issue and money wasn't an issue, but I like the idea that it's something that I can just put like next to me right here. Like, for example, these are all the pins I have that I've either purchased or received complimentary to review from my friend Bree of Little Arrow Shop. And I love these felt squares. I bought them in all different pastel colors from Target. And this is where I display all my Brie pins, with the exception of my duplicate Magical AF pin that's right up here. I keep them on here, and that way if I want to wear them, I can wear them. They're fashion accoutrements, but they're also just fun to look at. They're just fun to collect. They don't take up a lot of space, so it's hard for me to separate that, even if space wasn't an object thing, because in my mind I can't escape from that, but I love collecting enamel pins. One of these is a pair of earrings, actually, that unfortunately, apparently, I can no longer wear anything but sterling silver in my ears, even though these are hypoallergenic and stainless steel, I believe, or even 14 karat gold plated, I'm not sure. I can't wear them. They gave me an ear infection, which makes me so sad. But now I have my set of FU pins, and I have my set of FU earrings that I also display on here. But this is just one example, one designer set of pins. I love collecting pins. And stickers I will collect for all time. I've done it since I was a little girl, so I had to pick two because you knew I couldn't pick just one thing. Stickers and pins. So thank you, Brandy. Questions number 4 and 5 were both submitted by Jonathan Ransom. So hi, Jonathan. Number 4, what is your fave lip smacker? I'm going to go with my old standby just because it gives me childhood feels, and it's like a sense memory thing as well as just being an awesome flavor and having a slight bit of tint. It's going to be Dr. Pepper. I think now and forever it will always be Dr. Pepper. I have a lot of other newer ones that I'm super into, but yeah, favorite of all time, I have a feeling it is always going to be Dr. Pepper. And the Biggie one just gives me extra feels because they remind me of like my childhood and like, oh my God, like having my first Biggie lip smacker, which probably was strawberry, come to think of it. But having like a Biggie Dr. Pepper lip smacker, just, it brings on all the feels, all the happy feels, and I just love it. And again, I love that at least in my mind, I think it has a little bit of tint to it, or it used to before Markwins bought them out. I don't really remember. I haven't been wearing it a lot lately, considering it's my favorite, which is weird. But yeah, that's my favorite. So that's that. And number 5 question, also from Jonathan, what is your fave farm animal? For most of my life, it was probably cows. I went through a very serious cow collecting phase. I've moved on since from it. I still love cows. And ironically, my favorite animal in life is the manatee, which is also known as the sea cow. So that's kind of ironic. But honestly, at this point, I have to go with an alpaca. Just because, and not just because they're trendy now, even though they are really trendy in like Hawaii collectibles and stuff. And I just happened to feature one a minute ago with my little plush. But I've seen them a few times at fairs, and I've gotten to pet them, and they're so soft. They have the softest, most amazing fluff in the world, and they just have the sweetest faces. And as far as I know, I don't know any alpacas personally, but I think they're really gentle creatures for the most part. I dig on alpacas. I think they're so super cute. But cows will always have a special place in my heart, and piggies too. I love all farm animals. Honestly, I've never met an animal in my life that I didn't like, except for 2 dogs that were mean to me, but you know, that was kind of my own fault. So, and I still liked them. I forgive them. You know, namaste. It's not their fault. But anyway, so yeah. So thank you, Jonathan, for those questions. And I'm going to try to speed up a little bit because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, questions 6 and 7 were asked by my friend Hallie Capitano. Shout out to Hallie. Number 6 is, what is your favorite perfume? As far as actual perfume, like legit perfume, not like a body spray, it's a toss-up. There's one called G by Gwen Stefani. That's one of her Harajuku Lover fragrances. I really am into, I think it's just called G or Little G. I'm really into that one. I also really love, and I want desperately, I'm putting this out into the universe. I haven't had a bottle since high school, but I recently smelled it again in a magazine insert, and I want another bottle so badly, but it's a freaking fortune. Calvin Klein Eternity. It's such a classic. It's such a clean, just awesome fragrance. I love Eternity. My mother has a huge stinking bottle of Calvin Klein's Eternity for Men that she had bought for my brother, who has since passed away, but unfortunately it doesn't smell the same. Although I may wear that in a pinch until someday I can afford to buy a bottle of Eternity again, but I love Eternity. And also there's a scent that they sell, oh God, I'm blanking on the name. They sell it in Epcot, in the Norway section of Epcot in Florida. And I actually met the perfumist, I guess that's the right word, who actually created the fragrance. He's the nicest man, so lovely. He was in the store and he autographed my bottle. Oh my gosh, totally blanking on the name. It's a woman's name. I believe it's his mother's name. Hold on, let me get the bottle because I'm going to be upset if I don't get it right. Hold on. Here it is, here it is, here it is. I always am uncertain if it's pronounced Layla or Lila, but it's L-A-I-L-A, and it says the fragrance of, or excuse me, the essence of Norway. And here is on the back where he actually autographed the bottle for me, which is so cool. I actually thought he was going to sign the box, but he signed the bottle itself. So that's really, really cool. And he was the nicest man. You can see there's a lot gone from this bottle. This just gives me feels of Disney, so I love that. It's just a clean, beautiful fragrance. I'm going to put some on right now. My bottle broke, though. Like, I don't know why it does that. Like my lid. But I'm going to put some on right now. It just smells fantastic. I can't describe it. It's floral. It's sweet. But not overly floral, because overly floral things drive my allergies crazy. I don't know what the notes are in it, but it's fabulous. But yeah, created in Norway, distributed by Layla or Lila Inc. Oh, Los Angeles, California. Okay, but was created in Norway, but I love it. But as far as like cheapy stuff, like body sprays, I'm obsessed with Bath & Body Works Warm Vanilla Sugar and Sun-Ripened Raspberry, which came back. Sun-Ripened Raspberry came back a few years ago for a brief period of time, and thank goodness I bought a bottle, and I also bought a bottle for my mom, which she uses on occasion, but not all the time. So like if I'm on my way out of the house, her bottle is in the downstairs bathroom. I'll spritz myself with that if I forget to put something on here in the bedroom. I just love that scent. It reminds me of like high school, but not in a bad way, because I hated high school, but it just reminds me of my youth, and it's just such a fun, bright fragrance. So in terms of like, you know, body spray, I'm super into those two. So that's a long-winded answer to a simple question. And question number 7 has 2 parts. First part is, what is your favorite flavor ice cream? Again, because I can't answer anything in a simple way. I have different favorite flavors in different places. Overall, in life, anything probably with chocolate and peanut butter. And in particular, Baskin-Robbins peanut butter and chocolate ice cream, I'm super, super, super into. But right up there near the top is Friendly's Butter Crunch. Not Butter Pecan, Butter Crunch. It's got little tiny bits of butterscotch candy inside it, and it is so freaking delicious. And I know a lot of places don't have Friendly's anymore or never had Friendly's. You can oftentimes find Friendly's at your grocery stores, so look for it. Luckily, Butter Crunch is usually available in half gallons in the freezer section. If you've never tried it and you like butterscotch candy, seriously, it's legit, thebomb.com. It's so freaking good. In terms of just like generic flavors, like, you know, that you could get anywhere, any brands, and it's a go-to, I love mint chocolate chip. But yeah, those are probably my favorites. In Haagen-Dazs, I really just super dig like the classic vanilla or the chocolate chip, just the vanilla chocolate chip, because their vanilla is like perfection. So yeah, again, long answer to a really simple question. And the second half of that question was, do you prefer ice cream sandwiches or ice cream cones? And that I can answer very simply. It depends on my mood, because I love them both. So that's the answer to that. So thank you, Hallie. Question number 8 was asked by another dear friend, Coupon and Carefree. She has a channel, guys. Check it out. I don't know that she's been posting in a while. I don't think she has, but there's, you know, videos that are up there already that you can watch and enjoy. She's super awesome. And her question is, I also struggle with depression and anxiety. How do you maintain your friendships when dealing with mental illness? That's a complicated question and a really good question. Up until recently, I would say the vast majority of my friendships existed solely online. And by online, I mean also in texting, also email, but not, you know, not just through social media, like beyond social media. But a lot of my dearest friends, including Coupon and Carefree, who I won't say her actual name, but, you know, she knows who she is. She, and I, you know, have never met, and we've never talked on the phone. As you guys probably know, talking on the phone gives me super anxiety. I can do face-to-face conversations, although like party situations and stuff, I'm a hot mess. I'm usually really terrified. I'm, you know, lingering in the corner, either talking to the kid or petting the animal of the house rather than actually peopling. But how do I deal with it in terms of my friendships and maintain my friendships? Again, most of them, up until recently, were exclusively online. So it makes it a lot easier because that's a great way for me to communicate. I've always been a person who is good with the written word. That's my forte. I write. I've written since I was 7 years old. That really helps me maintain, because sometimes it makes it easier to set limits. Not always. I've definitely been burned by friends that I've met online, and some of whom that I've actually met in person later. To me, a friend is a friend is a friend. I don't give a crap if you meet online, if you've never met in person, if you've met in person 100 times. Why is someone that you knew 20 years ago or 30 years ago from high school, just because you met them face to face, a better friend than someone that you've been talking to on Facebook for 10 years, like once a month, you know, or once a week or once a day? You know, why is that less of a friendship because the other person you actually met face to face? I don't buy that. I don't really like to even say online friendship as opposed to friendship, because a friend is a friend is a friend. But that helps me a lot, because I can be in the safety of MySpace and MySpace, yeah. R.I.P. MySpace. And I did MySpace back in the day, and I deactivated my account and tore it down, and I wish I'd left it up there just for shits and giggles to go back and look, because I know people can still find their old MySpaces, or at least they used to be able to. But I digress. But since I started volunteering at the animal rescue, and even prior to that, since I took a continuing education class in creative writing at my local community college, both of those things really forced me to get out on my own way and make friends that I did see face to face. And just doing something that, you know, having a shared interest like writing or like, you know, caring for and loving animals really helps a lot. And the structure of knowing like once a week I had to go to class or once a week I have to go to the rescue, it's not terrifying like having a job, which is why I can't maintain a job, because I know that I wouldn't be able to commit to going in this set number of days a week, this set number of hours, and it doesn't matter how shitty my brain feels that day, I'm committed, I have to be there. Whereas with the rescue and with class, you know, if I missed a class, you know, I was only screwing myself because I paid a lot of money for the classes, so I, you know, would motivate me to go. And in terms of the rescue, my rescue, you know, friends are just so understanding that if the day before I just, you know, I call and I say I'm just really not feeling good, I can't make it, I don't have to elaborate on, you know, mentally I'm not feeling good or physically I'm not feeling good. They understand, and I don't have to be there. So I'm able to meet these people on my own comfort level, so to speak. And the fact that we've bonded through a shared love, again, of either writing or, you know, of animals, those are the bulk of my friends, legitimately, that, you know, that I see face to face, that I socialize with. And now it's expanded where there've been some coffee dates, and my friends from my writing circle have become, you know, family. We get together. We were routinely getting together once a month at one friend Kathy's house, and we would have wine and food, and we would do a writing assignment together, and we would get together like clockwork at least once a month. Now it's become more sporadic, which is sad, but I'm going to be seeing them next week, so I'm happy about that. But, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. But having the structure, I think, of having a in-person friends that you see in a specific setting at a specific time, but on a level where you feel comfortable, I think that really helps me a lot. Like, I look forward to going to the rescue once a week and seeing my friends. And today I actually went on my not usual day, because a friend that I work with on Wednesdays was going to be there, and another friend who had left the rescue for a period of time is back. So I was really stoked to see her. So I went in today and I had a really good time, and it was great because I was there for like an hour and a half. Wasn't too much pressure. Spent time with the fur babies I love. Spent time with my friends. Got to interact. A Girl Scout troop came in today and they were reading to the animals, which I didn't even know was going to happen today. So I got to hang out with some cool girls. It was just, you know, it worked out, you know, to be a really great day. That was not expected, but I was able, again, on my own terms. I work, you know, at the rescue I work, it's like 5 minutes drive, you know, 15-20 minute walk from my house. So I could legitimately, if I had a meltdown and freaked out and was like, oh God, I can't handle this, even though I didn't have my car with me today, I could have walked home. So I knew where there was a safety net. So knowing that there's always an out helps me a lot with friendships. And with a lot of my friends, you know, that we've said to each other point blank, if we make plans to do something and one of us isn't feeling up to it, because several of my friends are in the same boat in terms of anxiety and depression and mental illness, we know that we can be honest with each other, and we don't have to make up a BS excuse. We can say, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling up to it today. You know, today's a PJ's day. I haven't showered. I'm not up to peopling today. And we completely understand, and there's no questions asked. It's totally just an understood, that's an okay thing to do. So that helps a lot too. So it was a long-winded answer, but I hope it helped somewhat. Coupon and Carefree, aka my special kawaii pal. But not Billy. I have 2 kawaii pals. All right, number 9. I know I'm running out of time. Gosh, I got to hurry. Okay, number 9 was asked by Carla Bisagni. I hope I'm saying her name right. Bisagni or Bisagni. I hope one of those is correct. Holmes. I love Carla. She's so super sweet, but I've never actually said your name out loud, so I probably mangled it. I'm sorry. But Carla's question, I know you like candles and lip balm, but do you also use other scented things like wax melts or essential oils? And what is your favorite? I do. I really am super into wax melts. My dear friend Mary has a company called Bastion's Boutique, and you can find it on Etsy, BASTIAN''S Boutique. You can look her up on Etsy, and she has wonderful, wonderful wax melts that I just love to burn in my wax burners. Essential oils I wasn't so much into until recently. Well, not super recently, within the past year or two. Mary actually gifted me a beautiful heart locket. Actually, no, it's a round locket. I'm sorry, it's not a heart. But it's got little pads that go inside the locket, and the pads are designed as sponges in different colors to accessorize with your outfits to put essential oils on. And she also sent me a bracelet that you can put essential oils on. It's just a threaded bracelet. I'm not wearing it right now, unfortunately, to show you. But she sent me those, and she sent me 2 essential oils to go with them. They are lavender and peppermint. I have them right here. And then I bought this one, which is tea tree. And I got this at the Dollar Tree. This is actually a roll-on essential oil. So you could wear it like as a fragrance. Oh, it says do not apply to broken skin. Okay, so it is meant to be used as a fragrance. You could put it on your pulse points or whatever and wear that. But if you put the essential oils on the bracelet or the necklace, it just keeps the scent with you. And it's very soothing and relaxing and calming. And again, helps with stress and anxiety. So yes, I very much do like things like that. I love vanilla essential oil. I don't know that that actually has any soothing or healing properties. I just love the smell of vanilla. But both the peppermint and the lavender have been really, really great. The tea tree is not as potent, but I dig it. I haven't really experienced a lot of other essential oils, to be honest. I bought one from a craft fair a couple years ago, and it went rancid. It just got disgusting. I don't even remember. I think it was like creamsicle or something. I don't know. The people were not, I don't know if it was that they were using organic products and it had a really short shelf life and they didn't tell me, but it got gross. So that turned me off of them for a little while. But I really like the peppermint and the lavender an awful lot. And I just love the smell of vanilla just as a comfort scent. So yes, I do like all the smelly things. Obviously, I have 3 cats, so I like smelly things, even if they smell bad. I love you, Sydney. He's so good. Okay, so that's that. All right, and then the last 2 questions were submitted by TS. And I don't know TS, I don't think, other than from commenting on the YouTube channel. But TS, thank you so much for submitting 2 questions. I really appreciate it. And they are questions 10 and 11. Number 10. Any fallout, regrets, epiphanies, or other thoughts you want to share about that huge nail polish declutter you did? I loved that series, by the way. Thank you for watching it. That was crazy. If you guys haven't seen that series of videos, I think I shot them last year or possibly 2017, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. You can just look on my playlists. I think it's probably in the like miscellaneous randomness playlist. I honestly don't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I got rid of a shit ton of nail polishes, and I still have a shit ton of nail polishes. I mean, way more than any person should. But decluttering the ones that I did was really empowering. It felt so, so good. I do still have some in my possession that I've been trying to sell at yard sales. I did donate a ton of them, though, to the rescue as items to be sold. And they just put them out for $1 a piece, and I know they sold through them, at least 30 to 40 bottles, which made me so happy because I consider them new. They were legitimately swatched on a single fingernail in most cases. And I'm sorry, but guess what? People swatch nail polish on their fingernails in the stores. They're not supposed to, but they do. They also swatch them on things. Like if you look in places like Sally Beauty Supply, I think they even have a strip of paper now where people can swatch nail polish, because other than, if they don't have that out, they'll do it on like the plastic displays. I'm not going to lie. I've done it once or twice myself. I don't like to, but I've done it because honestly, if you can't see the color on, sometimes you don't get a good representation. And, you know, like you see it in the bottle and you think it's going to be one thing, and then you realize you're going to need like 4 coats to make it look like that. So it's not worth spending the money, especially on a $7, $8, $9 bottle of polish, which I'm happy to say I haven't bought in a really long time. But in terms of fallout, no, I mean, I had a few comments, I think, on the videos like, oh my God, like what business did you have having that many bottles to begin with? That's, you know, that's hoarding. That's so, you know, over the top. Oh my God, you know, that sort of fallout, but whatever. There's always going to be haters. And the fact of the matter is the bulk of them were sent to me for free for promotional purposes from companies to review. So I didn't spend any money on them. So if you have a problem with that, I'm awfully sorry, but that's your problem. But no, other than that, really, no. I had little pangs of regret, but then I quickly got over it when I looked through the stuff I had left. And I was like, girl, please, really? You still have so much nail polish. You are not going to miss these. And especially when they sold at the rescue, I felt really, really good about that. So no, I really didn't have any fallout, thank goodness. And Epiphany was just the reality that, you know, you can live with less things and still be happy. And in many cases, you're happier with less things. All right, I'm really running out of time, but last question. And again, this was from TS. This is question number 11. Ever wish we could go back to the pre-social media days? You seem well adapted to it instead of being an alienated curmudgeon by choice like myself. Trust that I am quite curmudgeonly myself, TS. I don't always show that side on camera because who wants to see that? But yes, very often I do wish we could go back to that. But at the same time, because social media is such an outlet for me in terms of being, I don't even want to say borderline hermetic or, you know, agoraphobic, because I'm certainly not. Those are legitimate issues that people suffer from. Being a little bit nervous to leave the house sometimes nowhere equates to agoraphobia, but I do have a lot of anxiety on occasion about leaving the house and being around people, but not by any means agoraphobia. But social media is a primary outlet for me in terms of, you know, facilitating a lot of my relationships and friendships and a lot of my socializing, to be perfectly honest. So yes, part of me wishes we could go back and put the genie back in the bottle, because if we were doing that, I wouldn't know what I know now, and I wouldn't realize what I'd be missing out on. And in some ways, social media can be incredibly toxic, not just in terms of, you know, the political BS and, you know, the entertainment BS and just the news we're constantly bombarded with, much of which is just horrible, hideous, hateful, you know, stuff that we just don't need to, you know, constantly have thrown in our faces, you know. Although we make the choice to be online, so I guess it's kind of our own faults. But like, even in terms of like stupid things like having the Masked Singer, you know, be spoiled for me because they blabbed on social media before I had a chance to watch it off the DVR. Like, yeah, we don't need to know everything instantaneously. Sometimes you could just let people wait and enjoy a show the next day and not spoil it for them. But I've definitely been super, super hurt and wounded by relationships I've made on social media, trusting the wrong people, or relationships that were not balanced, where I committed a lot more of myself to the friendship than the other person did, or I realized that the person's motives and intentions were not pure like mine were, and I've been really, really deeply hurt by people I've met online. Partly my fault, because I've allowed myself to be vulnerable and open, maybe more than I should. So it's really a toss-up for me. There's parts of me that says, yes, I really wish we could, but I mean, how far do you want to consider social media? Like, I met my husband indirectly through an MSN chat room. So, I mean, would that be considered like an early form of social media chat rooms? Probably. And then we met through an online forum that was set up as a result of that MSN chat room. So we really met through this group, not through the chat room per se. But I mean, I might not have ever met my husband. I probably wouldn't have, because he's from California and I'm from New York. So I mean, if not for social media, if you consider those types of things social media, I wouldn't even know my husband. So most of me says no. But yeah, there's little pieces of me that wishes we could go back to when things were a little bit simpler. But honestly, as a bit of a curmudgeon myself, I find social media actually really opens a lot of doors to me, because again, I can be my full self and be vulnerable and be open and be honest, but I can do it from within the safety of my four walls of my house. And I don't have to actually encounter people in person if I choose not to. In many cases, I wish I could, and I hate that they're scattered all over the world, because there are people that I would love to hug and talk to in person and go shopping with and have a cup of coffee with or go out for drinks with. That will probably never be a possibility, because they're in Australia, or they're in the UK, or they're even, you know, on the other side of the country in California or Oregon. But, you know, but, it, you know, I wouldn't want to give those people up. So yeah, most of me, I would say 98% of me is glad for the existence of social media, but there's 2% that, yeah, would like to kick it to the curb and wipe it out of existence. So I hope that kind of answers your question. I apologize that this went on and was long-winded. I kind of knew it would be, because I'm me and I can't answer anything really with much brevity, even when I try. I'm literally looking at the clock. I'm at 36:43 and I have 43:14 before this video will legit stop, because my phone will be out of memory. I have to dump my phone. But thank you so much for asking these questions, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this was a fun video for you to watch. I would love to do more of these, because I really enjoy talking to you about myself, which sounds so narcissistic. But I don't, you know, I don't like having secrets from you, and I really don't. And I'm happy to share. And if anything that I can offer is enlightening or helpful to you, then that's great. I mean, that's the main goal of this channel at this point. You know, it started out a totally different beast than what it is now. I mean, you'll notice that I do a lot more chatting with you and a lot more deep thoughts type videos than just, you know, the silliness of like, you know, look, I bought a new toy or I got a new lip balm. And that stuff's not going anywhere, because that's part of who I am. And I think those videos are fun and worthwhile too. A lot of people say, like, you know, that Persevering Star would probably be a much more successful channel with a lot more subscribers and a lot more views if you just focused on one thing. But that's not who Carrie is. And that's not what Persevering Star is. I don't want to focus on just one thing. I don't want, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm in a box in any way, shape, or form with this channel. I want to be able to talk to you about what I want, when I want, how I want. And you guys can pick and choose, and, you know, the videos you want to watch are the ones you don't. And that's totally cool. Hopefully there's something for just about everybody here. You know, we all have different emotions and opinions and interests, and hopefully there's something here that's relatable to just about everybody. That would be my ideal situation. So this channel is never going to be singularly based. It's always going to be a hodgepodge of whatever pops into my little blonde mind on any given day. But this was really fun to shoot, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to submit more questions anytime you like, and every time I get to 10, I will shoot a new video if you guys would like that. So thank you for watching. I love that Sydney stayed.